Hello guys, sorry for the slight delay. How are you? Happy Thursday. And to everyone, it's a perfect day today in London. It's classic London day. Getting rainy and then sunny and then rainy again. It's just like classic. And welcome everyone, this is What's in the Glass digital beer stream. Today we have the industry stream. Industry stream is where we are having like a two-way line conversation with beer industry hero. So it's really exciting to speak about good topics with friends and people that I met along this lovely journey into craft beer and everything. And just want to remind everyone that this is IPA week, so I'm gonna drink something super cool, super lovely, which is the Polis IPA. The name is No Track Info, and it's a lovely Chinook and Equinut. So I'm gonna crack it on and start it. And in the meantime, I'm telling you a bit more what's happening. So Digital Beer Stream is a way to try to fight the boredom of the quarantine during these days. And along the Digital Beer Streams, I'm having like interviews and conversations about different type of topics, normally around beer. And it could be something more as well, like food, or maybe, in the future some other drinks. But for now, we're here for beer. And IPA week, we're drinking lovely Powell Brew Co, No Track Info IPA. And today we have a lovely guest, really good friend of mine, Matt Lincoln from Siren Craft Brew. And, I met Matt in a couple of events from the magazine he used to work, Foodism in the UK, and then I get to know that he was brewing, or like do brew days and collaborating with different breweries around the UK, UnBarred and GlassHouse, Little Faith, Anspach Hobday. And I remember we met probably kind of officially a proper night for lovely tasting at the Goswell shop in Brixton with UnBarred Brewery. It was a really good evening, really enjoyable. And then since then we've been in touch. We did some works with London Fields Brewery, and then recently he started with Siren Craft Brew for something that I'm sure he call it a dream roll. So because we are already 6 o'clock, I'm just having a sip of this. Actually, no, I can't have a sip of this. I need to do cheers before. So let me invite Matt over, and then we can cheers. Oh man, this is lovely. Oh, hello.
Hey Gabs, how we doing?
Oh man, all good. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too, mate. Long time no see.
Actually, yeah. I think it's now a couple of months, right?
Oh yeah, too long.
Yeah, I know, man. How you keep yourself? Everything good? Are you working?
Good, yeah. I'm still working. One of those lucky people that gets to go to work. Unfortunately, obviously, as a retail and events manager, not doing what my proper job is, but kind of a glorified e-commerce expert. Sorting out everyone's web orders. Lots of very thirsty people out there in quarantine, it seems.
Yeah, actually, yeah. There is every bottle shop I had the pleasure to speak with told me that it's not just a matter of convince anyone to drink. It's trying to find the best way to deliver the drinks to the people, which is
right.
the main thing.
Right.
What would I say to you, man? Thank you to be here today.
No, thanks for inviting me.
Pleasure. I haven't mentioned as well then I wanted to give a big shout to all the pubs and bars then trying to survive on these days, and trying to in some cases convert the business into something else. And
right.
could be like and and how is Siren doing in these days? Like you said you keep brewing and you keep doing like some new releases and digital activity.
Yeah, so we've cut down on our team so that we can be safe, and we can still work and still space ourselves out and make sure that we're all being healthy. Obviously everything's going into cans. We're not kegging, we're not casking. There's really no point in that at the moment. Our obviously web shops exploded, and we're still kind of working with those bottle shops and pubs and that are still trying to serve people doing takeout and deliveries and things like that. So yeah, we're doing all right. We're surviving like everyone else is, I guess. But yeah, lots of specials have come out recently, including what I'm drinking now, which is White Tips, which is our white session IPA. So it's like a seasonal special that Siren do every year. We've had Shattered Dream. We're working on a brand new core range, which is going to be released soon. So business as usual somewhat. We're not brewing quite as much, but we've got some really exciting beers coming out as well. So
that's it. That's the thing, man. It's like, this industry and these people like to, we were saying yesterday with Jen from Hobman's and Black, you must keep them excited, have, constantly new beer. And please, I haven't asked you, if you want to start to crack on with your beer, feel free.
I have started. So
cheers, man.
Cheers. Yeah. Thanks.
And man, this beer is banging. So if you see Ollie's Chinook and Econo is like very big, juicy, and of course big A's. I like it. It's like nice bitterness I wouldn't expect from this type of beer as well, which is good. I'm glad. It's the
Lovely.
second or third I try with from these guys. They really a good job. Matt, we had sort of topic for the day. Then I was thinking you are a very good type of person to speak about this kind of stuff, and it's like beer for any occasion, the most versatile drink. What do you think? Like, first in mind, do you agree?
Yeah, I know, totally. I mean, you just have to look at other drinks and you can just compare them to beer. It's quite easy to just, maybe people who don't drink craft beer or don't know, just lager, or ale or stuff like that. But, obviously wines, you have different grapes, different territories, different styles, and you have that in beer, but so much more. I mean, people ask me, how many different beers are there? I couldn't even tell you. There must be hundreds and hundreds.
Yep.
Sub beers, sub branches. And you could literally find any beer to suit anybody. And when people say to me, I don't like beer, I'm like, no, you've just not found a beer that you like. When people say I don't like beer, they mean I don't like lager, or those traditional kind of styles that they would know. But, there's so much out there. And it just goes with all kinds of food, but all kinds of occasions as well. I mean, so White Tips is a great example. This is obviously a white IPA. It's a mix between an American and a wit, really. So it's got that Belgian influence, but it's still sessionable. Lots of fruit. It's really refreshing. It's got a bit of spice from the yeast. So you can literally drink this all year long. All seasons it works with. So it's just there's just so much. And I could talk. I know we've only got half an hour.
That's fine.
I could talk for hours about this. But yeah, there's so many different beers that suit so many different occasions and foods, and
something that I always notice from I call it craft beer enthusiasts, could be gigs, could be people that just join the community. They're all saying like there are so many beers, there are so many sub styles, and I literally can't stop to spend my money on it. And I'm pretty much the same. I have now a good excuse because I'm exploring different type of beers, different styles, chatting with different bottle shop. But I notice I really spend lots of money and lots of time to find out what's going on.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all guilty of that. I think the more you get into that rabbit hole, I dread to think what I spend on craft beer a month. It can be quite difficult. I think everyone has that threshold. You can get beers from £3 all the way up to £50.
Yep.
I think you just have to be sensible about it, and especially when you first start, you can get really excited, like a kid in the candy shop or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's something for everyone, and there's all price points to kind of suit the palate. So sometimes when you're having a hard month, maybe you don't buy all the crazy kind of like expensive lambics or kind of whatever, or I don't know, big stouts. But yeah, I don't even want to know how much I spend on beer a month.
And the good thing is, like, you almost trying to find the best way to consume them. And again, could be the fact that, you know, you're having something to celebrate, or maybe because you have some specific food at home that you going to go for that specific beer. But, you know, there is a really good excuse to drink most of the time when you're going to drink. And that's something that just catch my attention all the time. Like, I got many excuses to do it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the other thing I have to watch out for. You know, every day, you know, I went into the office. I'm not drinking today. Oh yeah, but we're canning this today, or you know, we're trying this, or we want to pair this. We're doing some videos. You've even got a tasting tomorrow night that we're doing like a live tasting of Shattered Dream and White Tip. So I'll be doing exactly the same this time tomorrow. But also, you know, we're quite keen on trying to pair our beers with foods and things like that, and kind of just help people kind of explore that side of it as well, for sure.
For sure, yeah. Well, you know, again, I have many memories associated to me and people around me with the act of drinking. Could be, you know, all sorts, really. Also, since I'm 18, and you know, something that I noticed is the fact that compared to 2 or 3 generations before us, people now really pay attention to the drink. It's not just, you know, let's get fucked and you know, let's watch some football. We are doing that, but we're also really, you know, aware of what we are drinking.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not about, you know, like you say, just that kind of culture of just that's, you know, what I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have days like that with some
Yep.
friends where we'll drink a fair amount, but always with, you know, if someone's put that much love and thought into a beer and all those amazing ingredients, why not kind of enjoy it and pay attention to it? You know, you wouldn't, you don't really do that with any other drink, as far as I know. And I think beer's got this perception that that's what it's for. It's just a like a, you know, like you say, like a bit of a lads go to the pub, watch football and drink as much as you possibly can. But you know, I think that's changing, and you can enjoy just the different flavors and the versatility of it for sure. Yeah, I know what that's what exactly what I'm like. You know, I'd rather go to a place and have 10 thirds and have every single beer on the menu and try all the different, you know, styles and variances than just drink the same beer constantly, 10 pints and then pass out or something like that. And I think, well, you know, when I first started getting into craft beer, I used to think that was just me, but you know, I think there's definitely a lot more people out there that are the same as us, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you know, I remember like many times when I was working behind the bar, like Mother Kedley's, and there were the people that were making the beers that we were selling, and I was thinking they are going to be massively selective about what's going on tonight. They're gonna try all the beers and telling me what's going on, what is the quality, what's this, what's that. No, it was a night out. They just wanted to have good pints of Pilsner, the weak,
Yeah.
easiest IPA, probably table beer from Colonel, and pints and pints and pints. I was just like, ooh, they make the liquid, but they are also able to relax themselves, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you know, it being in the industry as yourself, you do know that there are some industry nights where it is all about just kind of like having a great time and, you know, drinking some of those beers. But then, you know, you never really go to a festival or anything like that and drink the 16% stouts and remember. Yeah, exactly. You know, there's time and a place for that for sure. And there is a time when you just want to get with all your mates and your industry folk and just obviously have a lot of beer.
Yep.
Many times where you make your way up to the stouts and then just don't really remember anything about it.
Good point. Very true.
Yeah.
And probably if you will put like very very high quality beers in you know places like festivals or maybe like clubs, probably people wouldn't make any for the people wouldn't make any difference, and maybe they wouldn't go for it because the price. I mean, I don't know. I'll,
Yeah. I think, like you say, there is a time and a place for it, and there's still people that want to just kind of have like a nice, refreshing beer in the sun or something like that, listen to music. Obviously, not this year, but next year you've got a lot more festivals and things like that are starting to, you know, taking into that whole kind of like music, food, and but introduce like quality ingredients and quality beer is just part of that. So maybe we're changing, maybe we're getting more into that. And rather than just drinking a lot of one beer, you can still enjoy yourself, but have some, have some nice quality beers and things like that. But especially with not the invention, but as such, but table beer, for example, it's a beer that is still, has got loads of flavour, but you can still have a fair few of them. So for me, that's a festival beer. Anything kind of that strength, really. Yeah, but I mean, with it's all the amazing breweries we've got now, there's so many talented people in the industry. They can put so much flavour into something that you can easily drink. But
what is the breweries now? Like, we're talking about 2,000 in the UK alone, right? Something like that.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, obviously when I was at Foodism, it was something like 150, 60, 70, and just in London, which is crazy. But yeah, it's just too much beer, not enough time, really.
Very good point. No, well, in that case, 30 are not too bad decision actually to go. And what I was thinking is also like, unlike we are similar, I mean, like, as much as we're not similar from previous generations drinkers, I'm sure the next generation, the future generations drinkers are going to be very different from how we behave with drinks, with beer. And I had almost like this vision about beer becoming a luxurious, good something, and people will crack on just in very, very, special time and spending lots of money as much as wine. What do you think? Do you see something like that?
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think beer deserves to be up there. As kind of Bert's adventure in Beerland just mentioned, it is quality over quantity. I mean, there's a time and place for something where it's just something nice and easy to drink. But beer is as good as wine. It can be as good as wine, and it should be. And I think probably our generation, we grew up with pretty average beer. It was mass produced and it was pretty bland. And we kind of just accepted that was what was on offer, and until we kind of started tasting more. So we've kind of grown up in that mid generation where we've had both. There's people now that are growing up and all they've ever drunk is craft beer. So I think it's only going to go that way, and I think the industry is going to benefit from it. And I'm looking forward to the days where you can go to a really nice restaurant and they've put just as much thought into the beer as they have the wine.
And I can say, following the comments that just arrived now, beer sellers as well as wine sellers, that there were rumors about a very important bar in London, I can't say which one, starting to have a special sellers menu for beers, like I don't know, like get a 2014, a 2015, a 2016 overall, and that doing like a vertical taste in one night with friends. How you see that?
Gabs, the day that we can go to a restaurant, we can order some food, and order with it, a 2014 bottle of De Fontaine or something like that with our food. That'll be a good day. I'm looking forward to kind of sharing that with you sometime in the future.
We really should do that.
Yeah, or just a couple of really great kind of IPAs or something like that. Well, thanks, Andy. I've just yeah, I am looking good today. Although my lockdown haircut and beard is getting a bit out of control, but there we are.
To be honest, you look always fantastic, and most of everything you're always doing. You always make the room just like, for me, when I see you, I'm like, oh, Matt is in here. I'm safe. I'm cool. I can be all right for now. It's true. Trust me.
Bringing the party, bringing the good times.
Yeah,
but as much as we talk about beer, and sometimes people could say, oh, it gets quite pretentious or kind of whatever. Like, just beer is about good beer and good times with good friends. Like I can be really geeky with beer, but at the end of the day, it's just having a good beer and talking about the beer with your mates that's the main thing, really. So, which is why I think lockdown is is quite difficult. I can't wait for when we can go back to the pub and have a great pint, especially cask and missing cask.
Exactly.
But there we are. We'll get there. But that is kind of the link of beer, and I think it's always been a bit of a social lubricant and something that people can meet over and talk about. And all craft beer is just adding that extra element where we can talk about the beer as well, rather than just politics and things like that. So
the way that it's served, or yeah. But this is the most common thing in these days. Like, I'm missing what I'm not capable to get, and because this is on fire, man. Tonight is on fire below there. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And Andy works in the office with me. I was thinking he was going to pop up with his with the bantidote, as we call it.
Yes, I like that. Oh well, like I was chatting on the phone with Deepak yesterday, and we had like a quick catch up, and he was like, "Dude, I can receive the best meat, the best cheese, the best wine, the best beer on my doorstep every day if I want, because I'm in London, and no limits to that. So because that, you're gonna miss what you can't get, and you can't get is cask. This is the thing."
Right. I mean, like you say, this kind of the situation we're in is kind of, it's forced everyone to kind of change the way they look at, doing business and things. And, we do talk about, whether people's habits will change when we kind of get out of this. But I think the one thing that won't change is people going to pubs. A lot of things will change. But I'm confident, and I'm hopeful, and I'm sure that going to a pub and having a nice pint of cask or something like that, or just joining with your friends and just chatting. That's going to be the constant, especially in obviously Britain. For a country of pub enthusiasts.
Well, but so the question would be: are pubs gonna change because all of this?
Yeah, I mean that's a difficult question, isn't it? We don't know. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to kind of have to see. But I, for one, and a lot of people I speak to can't wait to get back into that pub and just enjoy a pint with their friends
and all related things.
Yeah, that's it. And then it's just it's the atmosphere, is everything, and it's great being able to catch up with you over Instagram, but it's not quite the same as having a beer in a pub. It doesn't quite match up, but we'll get there soon.
I'm confident, and again, mostly because we really need that. Like, it's not just a matter of all the jobs that are in risk and everything. It's above that. It's the same issue, but it's above that. It's almost like get back to normality. I'm going out now, and I can walk for a bit around here where I am, and I'm not gonna see anyone. It's not like walking on a normal day, and this is the thing. And okay, this is a nice question. And just keep it and get it behind. Oh yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, obviously there are pubs that, I think cask probably more so. There are lots of pubs that serve cask, but a well kept pint of cask, properly served, is something beautiful, isn't it? And it's something to behold. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, you just hope, you do hope, and there's lots of breweries, and personally I like going. There are certain pubs that I'll go to, but going direct to the brewery, know how to keep the beer, know how to serve the beer, all the staff are trained. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there is going to be a lot of casualties coming from this, and
Well, pint of
I guess.
broken dream in the harp. That's all I'm looking for. Pint of broken dream in the harp and fuel.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I mean, obviously we just canned Shattered Dream, which is Broken Dream's bigger sister, I guess, with lots of chocolate. And I don't know, I'm not sure if any went in cask. I don't think it did.
That would
But
be great.
I can just imagine how amazing that would taste on cask. But, there we are, one of these days.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to crack another beer. I know I'm probably getting on it, but
please, Matt, go for
so
it.
this is just a bit of a plug. This is Refractions. So this is going to be our new core range.
Nice.
It won't be called Refractions, but essentially we found that we have our core range beers, and there was a bit of a gap. Soundwave is a brilliant beer, but 5.6% is quite punchy. So this is a much more sessionable 4.2, I believe. Yeah, 4.2.
Interesting.
So this will be a core range soon. Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm glad to hear that because
I'll make sure you get some, Gabs, for sure.
Please, it's the plan is to keep going with these lives for quite a while, and there are many people I would love to speak with, like I'm doing with you, and keep this mood like very chill, very laid back, say whatever we feel like, and don't really prepare enough, but don't really prepare in the same time, because this is what all the industries as well doing in right now. Like I was watching very closely, like video games and food and all the sorts of, and we are really lucky to be able to discuss about different things. And beer is a very big matter for many people. So find different way to discuss about that specific bit of it. It's a game changer. It will bring more people in, and it will potentially try to keep alive most of the players out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think you'd like to, you hope, depending on what happens, that craft beer will be pretty safe, because it's a special product, and it's got a special kind of like hardcore followers. And I mean, we can talk about it all day long, and I can talk about it all day long with people, and I hope that that will continue, I'm sure, and we'll get through it, and yeah, like you say, we'll enjoy all those great beers at the end of it. But yeah, like I think it's a really interesting kind of product and industry, and hopefully it continues. I'm sure it will.
Something that I told you, that I always love about Siren, going back to the main core of the conversation, is the fact that, unlike many other breweries, Siren don't have a specific style in focus, and wherever you're doing a bit of everything, seasonally or whatever you feel,
right,
you're smashing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about Siren, right? There's lots of breweries, and I'm not going to name any, but you can kind of pigeonhole the brewery, and like this brewery just does this and they're great at this. But
yeah,
I mean, in the last kind of 3 weeks, we've released a Goza, a white IPA, an Imperial Stout, a couple of session IPAs, lots of that. So we've got so many great beers. We've also got the highest rated dark ale on Untapped as well. So our barrel aging program is kind of brilliant. Just constantly trying to push barriers and see what we can do.
And unlike the breweries that have just a style of beer, with Siren, especially you, then will be in charge, and you are in charge with events and activities in general. You will have to differentiate for every beer a specific action or event or concept, which is mind-blowing,
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an exciting role for sure. I mean, I kind of, my first official gig was at Brew London. Obviously, that's when we last saw each other, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just remember looking at our tap list with like 10% stout, 12.5% session IPAs, like all these incredible beers, such incredible variants as well.
Yep.
And not really bow into trends. We do what we want to brew, and we do it brilliantly. So It's an exciting role. I'm looking forward to getting back to the events when all this is
Fantastic.
over. But yeah, and then hopefully drinking a lot more beer with everyone in all these events. So
Yeah, man. Like,
yeah,
again, there are many ideas in my mind right now. I see like somehow a real potential to explore and get on board many different elements, as I said before. And there's going to be a time where people like you will really make the difference, because you're going to be able to just being, in the middle of a situation where beer is not there at all, just drop in the right product in the right time, in the right way. And everyone's going to be like, okay, this is something I must follow from now on. You are some of these people. And this is
yeah. Oh, thanks. No, thanks for that. That means a lot. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been kind of in the industry as such kind of for long, but it's something I'm really passionate about. As we've kind of been at lots of events together, food pairings,
yeah,
festivals, and I've done lots of collaboration beers, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. And to kind of land a job with a brewery that's just as passionate about it as I am, it's going to be some exciting times. But looking forward to working with lots of breweries, in the near future, and um, educating people about beer and how amazing it is. And like you say, like the whole topic is how versatile it is. And I still, when people say, "Oh, I don't really like beer," like for me that's a challenge. Is like, I will find a beer that you like.
yeah.
And even Becky, she doesn't really like beer, but the other day I got out a nice Mikella Spontan double raspberry, and she drank more than I did. I couldn't stop her drinking it, and she doesn't even like beer, so it just
She
goes
likes
to
good
show.
beer. That's what she likes. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like sours and stout. There's so much, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and think it's a very exciting future for the industry for sure.
And Paris, which just joined the conversation. I remember when we came to one of the last Foodism Beer Club. When we left, she was like, "We had to do this kind of stuff. That's what we have to do."
I love Paris. She's brilliant.
She really like doing all night long, all different things, and just be like, "Yeah, yeah, let's create food. Some chefs do something, and again and again and again, and try different. You see, great night. That's
Yeah,
it.
right.
That's it.
No, it was brilliant, and all those brilliant foods that pair, and all the different styles of beers that we tried, and all the variants, and the food elevating the beer. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? It really is, and
It really is.
it's an almost too a bigger topic to have a discussion about, because no matter how much you talk about it, you don't even scratch the surface. But I guess that's why it's so exciting.
Yep. And I'm waiting to go together one day in another place with another beer culture, maybe Belgium, maybe Germany, maybe
Yeah.
Scotland, I don't know, wherever. And just because we will be like completely out from it, and it will be interesting to.
Wow, that is my favourite film. I also hear that Andy Nolan of Siren Craft Brew is a fan as well. Um,
What is the
what
best pair? What is the best food pairing that with a beer that you ever did? Ever.
that's so difficult, isn't it? I couldn't even tell you. I think probably I think we paired. It was Colonel's Export India Stout with a chocolate toffee sponge or something. It was something like that, wasn't it? It was kind of the bitterness and the richness of the stout that kind of really elevated the food, and they both complemented each other, but in slightly different ways. But I mean, there's so many. There's so
Yeah.
many, isn't there?
I got one that just blew my mind. I had to say it. Spontan basil from
Right.
Ella with the most Italian thing you can have: mozzarella and tomato.
Right. I was going to say mozzarella, because that really works really well, because you've got this kind of like pesto tasting beer with the kind of the kind of very kind of in your face taste.
Which is
And then
memory.
you've got the refreshing kind of mozzarella, like quite juicy, and yeah. That
For
sounds
me,
great.
it's summer. You know, it's summer. It's my 25 years of summer that I lived before moving to the UK. So to me, brings memory on the table. It's a sentimental list, you know, sentimental attached to it, and just memory. Really, it's like Broken Dream. The reason, because I always say about the beer, is because I was working at the Great British Beer Festival, and you know, I had the worst shift ever. It was the first time, and they were pouring like vintage ale on cask.
Right.
There were 600 people trying to get a third of it, and people were like, "Put more on it, put more." And I was like, "No, I can't do that. There are many people in here. We got one cask barrel. That's it." So when I finished it, I went straight to Siren, and I had this beautiful pint of Broken Dream.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah. So context, I had a madras today for lunch, and I really struggled. I would pair something that's refreshing. Maybe even a white tips.
Yeah.
Woo. Plug. Yeah, spicy food. I mean, I don't know, Gabs, what about you? What do you think with spicy food? I mean, do you go something that's quite malty, quite a lot of flavour, or do you want something that's refreshing, that takes the edge off? Maybe something quite citrusy to cut through, you know.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, because sweetness, bitterness, like some some sourness will work. It will work in there. It will work in there.
Thanks, Wayne. Shout out to my boy Wayne from back in Kent. I do have a history of ordering curries and eating curries that are far too spicy. What can I say? I'm adventurous. I'm as adventurous with food as I am with beer. I'll give anything a go once, maybe not again.
There is a way to go, and it's just Nigerian curry. Oh.
Can't say I've ever had one.
Oh man, just homemade. You wherever you are in South London, if you got a friend, some links and everything, that is mouth cleaning. In terms of erasing, it's too much. I don't even know what they put it on it. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Water, sugar, bread.
Nothing will take that out. Nothing will take the fire out.
That was extreme, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this is the thing. It's like, let me put it this way. I can speak with you for
We could be here for hours. I think we'll be here at like 7:30, and
yeah.
everyone will be bored by then.
Well, you know, this is the thing. Is like, this project will go keep going on if I will have time to do it, and that's the goal number one. I love these. I love to chat with people. I love to find, you know, good topics, and you know, spread something out there, see what's coming up, and maybe, you know, creating things around it. Maybe a zine, maybe a website.
That'd be fun.
You know, and
yeah.
Everyone can contribute on it. There is just like a very, you know, like an open sentiment of sharing whatever we think, whatever we want, whatever we like, and that will be an idea.
Yeah. I'm always up for a beer with you, Gab. So just let me know and I'll be there.
We are human hubs, and that's why we do the job that we're doing, and we need to keep this for as much as we can, because this is what we are, and this is the best for everyone right now as well. And Matt,
for sure.
It's a pleasure to share screens and share beers with you every time.
Definitely. It's been fun.
And please rest yourself, have a nice evening, eat some good food, maybe not curry, and I'm gonna check with you as soon as I can, like tomorrow probably, how you're doing and everything, because I miss you.
Miss you too, mate. Miss you too. Thanks for inviting me on to chat.
My pleasure. Take care, guys. Thanks for
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.